Welcome back to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan. And guess what? I've got Danny Givertz, Senior Vice President with Hunter Hotels, joining the conversation today. Danny, how are you?
I'm doing great, Craig. Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with a friend and an advisor and a mentor that I have known for over 22 years. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, brother. So you've been with Hunter just over 10 years now, and I think you've closed about $1 billion worth of business. Tell us about that, would you?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been with Hunter Hotels now for going on 11 years. Brian and myself in our LA office, who handles the West Coast. We've done 225 assets approximately for over $1 billion in transactional sales. And that varies from full service Hiltons down to economy branded assets with everything in between. Our focus is primarily on the West Coast, your Western states, California, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, and a little bit in Texas. But we've been doing this for 22 years now.
Wow, that's amazing how time flies. You were single. Now you're married with children.
Oh.
I'm still single. It's me and my dog. I don't know what to say.
I could say maybe one of us is lucky. I have a 6 and 8 year old at home with homeschooling. So.
I think we're both lucky.
Amen.
Danny and I have closed, by the way, over 60 deals throughout our careers together. So it's just a pleasure. You know, he is family. He is the littlest brother out of the family, and it's great to have him on the show. So, Danny, tell us, what are you seeing in the market today? The transactions are happening out west. What's going on out there from a broker perspective?
Well, out here for Hunter, we are still seeing transactions happen in the second through the fourth quarter of 2020. In 2020, we just got the records, and Brian and I out here on the Los Angeles office, we sold 55 assets plus, I think it's 58 to be exact, for over $60 million. Excuse me, $300 million, with $60 million of those dollars being sold to the state of California.
I got several questions for you. So how did you achieve aggressive 2019 pricing, for one thing?
I feel that it really lies with the type of market that we're in right now. Economy is right. Still a space that's performing well. We're not seeing as much as a decrease in performance compared to 2020.
True.
Economy is a brand that people want to be in right now. It is a brand that is still financeable. Right. And if you're selling for institutional ownership groups, sometimes the purchasers of these type of assets feel that there is upside there from an operational standpoint that they can take advantage of from day one. So we're able to get deals under contract. We're able to get deals non-refundable upon signing of the purchase and sale agreement, and get the deals done, which is really kudos to the team.
Absolutely. Now let's dive into this just a little bit deeper. Now, you've been on both the buy and the sell side for institutional owners. What's that been like during COVID-19? And they've got to be exceedingly happy with you and your team because you were able to get this aggressive, 2019 pricing for them.
To be honest with you, everyone is very pleased with what we've been able to accomplish for our institutional owners. However, it's always, what have you done for me lately? So, you can't really take your foot off of the gas. Right. We've already closed 4 assets already this year, with another 18 that are scheduled to close and non-refundable under contract before March 15th. So we closed a deal on January 30th, and we closed December 30th, and we closed a deal on early January 3rd, I believe. So we really haven't had a chance to take a call. Yeah. So, but spending 2 decades in this space, in the economy space, you kind of know what to chase, what pricing to put on assets, and who to go to as a purchaser as well as for financing.
Absolutely. So, Danny, let's talk about that $60 million in sales to the state of California. Were those what I refer to as the old tired Route 66 exterior corridor motels primarily, or was there interior corridor, newer hotels involved with that. And that all goes to conversion for homeless shelters, correct?
That's correct. Project Home Key was the driver of that sale. We sold 6 assets for approximately $60 million, most of which were in Southern California, one that was along the Central Coast. It was certainly a trying and difficult process in order to get those deals done. It took an immense amount of work from some truly incredible people from Hunter as well as from the seller side. You think calling the IRS is difficult just to check on your returns. Can you only imagine the amount of stress and attention it takes to keep everyone focused to get a deal? 6 assets that had to close by a specific time. We didn't even have a signed purchase agreement until 7 days before closing, and the money came in the day before. So it was new to the state, it was new to the cities and new to the counties, and it was something that we were learning as we went. So the fact that everyone was able to come together on all sides to get that done on that type of a scale is truly a testament to the abilities of all parties. So that was probably one of the harder deals that I've done in 22 years because we just didn't know until we knew. And it took months. It took months.
Okay, Danny, we're almost out of time. So I got 2 quick questions for you. What's it like being a broker in the middle of COVID-19? And you guys have had to reschedule the Hunter Hotel conference. When will that be? So end with the conference, please.
Sure. This is my 3rd, what I would call downtick, or not even a recession. This is a pandemic. We're lucky enough to be trading assets today where the previous downturns, candidly, I wasn't, and I've been very clear about that. It's tough right now because you still have a significant disconnect with regards to pricing between buyers and sellers. I mean, across the country, from a macro perspective, we are seeing disconnects between 15 to 25%, significantly lower in regards to a discount on pricing with regards to the economy side, and sometimes significantly higher than 25% when you get into full service major metro boxes, convention hotels, CBD locations, central business districts, big box assets. So that's tough. And from a broker's perspective, we're not seeing that distress sales, those REO sales that a lot of the brokers were expecting to see during this downturn. I think a lot of people are hoping right now we would be seeing that downturn, and that REOs and distress sales, we're talking to lenders, receivers, servicers, management companies, and we're helping them with underwriting their portfolios or their book of business, but they're not coming to transition or transactional situations. And candidly, I think that's going to take a number of months. So I think a lot of the brokerage community is on pause, and they're like nipping to get deals done and to get business into their coffers. From the hotel, from the hotel conference perspective, we're on 32 years of doing a hotel conference.
When's it been rescheduled to, though?
May is when we've been rescheduled to. It candidly is not only because I'm a Hunter family member, as I say, I have the Hunter tattoo on my arm. It's just it's a great conference, and it's just a wonderful event, and it's so well put together by an esteemed conference crew. We get about 1,700 people a year.
There you go. Danny, we are out of time. So shameless plug. How can people get a hold of you?
Yes, my email address, my cell phone number is 818-522-5036. My email address is my first name, Danny, DANNYGI, V as in Victor, ER, T as in Tom, Z as in Zebra, at hunterhotels.net. I give my cell just because that's an easier way to reach us. We're in the office a few days of the week, but always working. Happy to talk with anybody. We have offices across the nation and work with regional owners to institutional ownership groups. So happy to help anyone and just answer questions.
Perfect. Danny, thanks for being a part of the conversation today. And I want to thank you, our audience, for tuning in again today. We appreciate it. And remember, be kind, share your knowledge, go be amazing.